Jean Piaget. He was a Swiss psychologist who created and studied how children and youth gradually became able to think more logically and scientifically. He had 4 key features of his development model, and they were all the stages happen in the same order. No stage is ever skipped. Each stage is a transformation of the one before, and the stages incorporate earlier ones into itself. And all of these changes are influenced by maturation, activity, social experiences, equilibrium, and equilibration.
So the first stage of Piaget's stages of cognitive development is the sensory motor stage, which occurs in babies 0 to 2. During this time, they are learning imitation, memory, and thought development, and they do this through different things like putting stuff in their mouth, trying to understand what it is, or following people around. They don't have a full grasp on object permanence, so when you play peekaboo with them, they don't understand that the bear is still there even though you put a blanket in front of it. And during this time, goal-directed actions are part of their thought processes, so they understand that if they cry, then someone will come and help them and try and get them what they need. And that is the first stage of Piaget's cognitive development.
Pre-optional stage is the second stage of Jean Piaget's cognitive development. Children from 2 to 7 years old in this stage tend to develop their language, stable thinking, logical reasoning, and however they lack of cultivation. For example, children in this stage tend to play pretend games. They would pretend a broom as a motorcycle, or the kid would play with his imaginary friend. And the common problem occurring in this stage is that the children tend to lack self-cultivation. The most common problem would be that pouring liquid in a tall narrator container would make it have more liquid than a wide but short container. And the children think that pouring liquid in the narrow but tall container would have more. However, the liquid would be the same in these 2 containers. And that is the examples of pre-optional stage of Jean Piaget's cognitive development.
Great operational stage is the third stage. It is children from 7 to 11-year-old. The children in this stage turn to solve logic problems through manipulation, understand reversibility, and understand the laws of conservation. Concentration of thinking is the biggest characteristic of children's maturity at this stage. For example, in understanding reversibility, children can do calculation of 1 plus 3 equal to 4, and they would have the ability to do 4 minus 1 equal to 3.
The fourth and final stage of Jean Piaget's theory of cognitive development is formal operational. The name comes from the individual being able to operate on forms or representations. This stage is for ages 12 and beyond. This is the stage where abstract thinking occurs. Abstract thinking is where children become able to reason not only tangible objects, but also hypothetical ones. Hypothetical reasoning is how people manipulate ideas that vary in several ways at once, doing so entirely in their minds. Questions are posed like, what if the world did not invent electricity? And other what if questions. They also extend scientific reasoning skills. An example of this is the pendulum question. What is being determined is how fast the pendulum swings, and answers to this could be the length of the string holding it, weight attached, or the distance it is pulled. This stage is mainly used for solving